But the GRU aren't just bloodthirsty assassins going after traitors. This is Fancy Bear, a group of elite hackers and coders. Their job? The online sabotage of any pro-American or anti-Russian groups or companies. And they have some pretty creative ways of doing it. In 2015, they took over France's national TV network, but instead of announcing it was them, they made it look like it was a group of hackers for ISIS. They called themselves the Cypher Caliphate. They kept the 12 news channels hostage for over 3 hours. They even hacked the network's Facebook and Twitter pages. And when the World Anti-Doping Agency wanted to ban Russia from using performance-enhancing drugs, well, Fancy Bear got into their user database and sent thousands of phishing emails, trying to gather information they could leak to the public.
Do you have any doubt that the Russian government was behind the intrusions in the DNC and the DCCC systems and the subsequent leaks of that information?
No, no doubt.
Even though they don't openly claim to be a part of the GRU, everyone knows who they answer to, and they are always there when the agency needs them. It was May 1968, the peak of the Vietnam War. America was neck-deep in its military operations. What the Americans didn't know was, right around the time the fighting in Vietnam reached its peak, 9 young Russian men were sneaking onto a secret US airbase in Cambodia. America had just started producing a brand new attack helicopter called the Super Cobra. Russia's helicopter designs were falling behind, and they needed a working American helicopter to reverse engineer. So these 9 men went in, killed 15 American soldiers, hijacked the helicopter, and destroyed all the others at the base. The US government kept the raid a secret for years. It was too big of an embarrassment. But those 9 men weren't ordinary soldiers. They were a part of Russia's most elite special forces, the Spetsnaz, which is the GRU special forces and the equivalent to the American Navy SEALs. The Spetsnaz are the best of the Russian military. They train under live fire, often get stabbed in training, and have to pass some of the toughest entry tests in the world. They're the tip of the Russian military spear. And right now, that tip of the spear is in Ukraine. Ukraine is probably the most important battle in the history of modern-day Russia. It's a war to prove if Russia is still a superpower, and if it shouldn't be underestimated. Which is why it's not surprising that Vladimir Putin has sent in everyone he could think of into Ukraine to tip the scales in his favor. The infamous Wagner Group was in Ukraine long before the invasion started. Of course, the Russian military has sent in its troops. And to back all of these groups up, there's the GRU, sent into Ukraine to make sure Putin doesn't lose. They're there to operate in the gray area between politics, intelligence, propaganda, and combat. And if history is anything to go by, these guys are the ones to fear most.